Hey dudes, how's it going? This is Trent, and today I wanted to answer a question that's been coming in a lot. A lot of people have asked me something similar to this question, but I think eCupcakes said it best. She says, I'm almost 30 years old and I'm starting to feel like I should give up on my concept art and illustration dream. I'm going to summarize here. She says, I work too much, not on a job I don't necessarily enjoy, and you're trying to squeeze in time basically at the end of the day on top of keeping good, healthy relationships with friends and family. This kind of a thing can be really tough. Like, when do you decide it's time to cut the cord? When is it time to give up on your dream? And I know that sounds like a clickbaity title, but this is hard. This is the hardest kind of question to answer because I don't know a lot about your current situation. Everybody listening, I don't know where you are with your skill level. I don't know what your financial situation is. Do you need money? Are you a dad? Are you a mom? Do you have responsibilities? All those things are important factors to consider when dealing with when to cut some of your options when it comes to your dream job. When do you quit? When do you throw in the towel? When do you just say, hey, I'm not an artist anymore? That's a part of my past. When do you give in? When do you ring the bell? The short answer is when you can live with it. When you can live with yourself giving up on something that you enjoy. Or maybe if you just don't enjoy it anymore, then it's okay. You won't miss it. No one can really decide these things for you. It's something that's internal. You have to know for yourself these things. The most I can do is I can tell you some of my own experiences. One, no matter what you think that you want to accomplish, whether it's that job at that game studio or whether it's that comic book that you always dreamed that you would finally release, once you get there, there are other bigger dreams beyond that. And you'll find that it's always a higher bar. And if you're feeling like you're not good enough now, you're gonna feel like you're not good enough when you're there and you've got the job that you thought would make you feel whole and complete and satisfied. And finally, I made it. There's just another barrier above that too. And there's another thing that you're gonna want. So you're always gonna feel this way because that's life. That is life, full of challenges. And rising to face those challenges is what makes us stronger. It's what makes us better, and it makes it so much more rewarding when you accomplish them. I've actually accomplished almost every goal, every creative goal that I've ever set out to do. And how did I do that? What's my strategy? What do I do to accomplish those goals? What I do, and here's my current strategy, and it keeps kind of working, so I want to impart this upon some of you who might be thinking to yourself, hey, I want to make concept art. Hey, I want to make indie games. Hey, I want to be an illustrator on YouTube or whatever it is. First and foremost, pay the bills. First and foremost, do the job that pays your bills. Don't be one of these deadbeat dads that's never around because he's off chasing his own dream and neglecting his family, thinking they'll love him more when he's more successful. They'll just wish they had a husband. They'll just wish they had a father. So pay the bills. Don't be a burden on other people. Take care of your shit. That's step one. Second thing is, find a way to spend less time doing the job that pays the bills and more time doing the thing that is your dream and your goal at that time. There are other ways that you can retire early, for instance, if you do a lot of research on how to invest and how to sock away some cash, you can lower your cost of living. There are some places in the country where you can live for very, very inexpensively and survive on a couple of grand a month and still put away for retirement and retire early. If you are extremely frugal, you can do that. You can ride a bike instead of drive a car. Lots of ways to save money, and that time is money, and money is time. So the more time you commit to your dream and your goal, the closer you're going to get to it. Third thing, time box it. Schedule it out every day. Schedule that 1 hour every day at the end of your workday. And everybody should know that's my hour where I go to my little space. I lock myself in my room and I make it just about me doing that thing and enjoy it. For me right now, I've been scheduling an hour every day to write. And that reminds me, I got to get going pretty soon, so I'm going to keep this short. But I schedule 1 hour every day to write. And when I started doing this about 5 weeks ago, I had 0 words on a new Twilight Monk novel. Right now, as of today, I have 24,000 words. That's an awful lot of progress. So time box your goals into small, manageable 1 hour chunks of time every day, and eventually it compounds. It all compounds into getting you closer to your goals. And if you're not getting the progress that you want, maybe you might need to change the tactics of how you're presenting it. It might be maybe change the tactics of how you're studying concept art. It might be changing the process and the tactics of how you're releasing and showing that artwork. It might be changing the process of who you're communicating with. You might be getting a lot of bad feedback or direction from people who aren't professionals. So because you asked me this specifically about concept art, because you asked me this in a video that was about concept art, I want to say that many times people cut themselves off from accomplishing their dream job because they won't settle for anything that isn't what they thought they wanted. I've known concept artists who gave up on their concept art dream because they would not settle for anything less than Blizzard or Riot. And it's ironic because there was a time when Riot wasn't somewhere that everybody wanted to go and work. And they had a hard time finding artists. Why can't we find artists? When I started working there, they would say, we can't get people to commit to come in and working on League of Legends. Crazy, right? That told me that there are opportunities everywhere. And I can't tell you how many engineers I've met. I can't tell you how many game developers I've met that are like, man, I can't find professional concept artists. I can't find artists to work with who will actually follow through with the task that we need to get this game done. So to me, I see this world of everybody who's hungry, they're starving, and they're surrounded by food. They're surrounded by it. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of different ideas for how you can develop experience and utilize your 1 hour a day most effectively to establish yourself as a concept artist. One, go to the Steam Workshop, find a game that you like that has some workshop options. Find modelers in their forums and offer to work with them. Find out what they need. What are model sheets? Like, how do I do model sheets for a character design for a Dota character, for instance? Like, that's tremendous experience right there. Follow hashtags for indie game developers and offer to contribute to their projects for free or for a couple of bucks, depending on your skill level. If you can negotiate something, work something out just to get some experience contributing to a team. Set up your scheduled times where you meet up with the team on Skype. You talk about what the team needs, what the game needs. Before you know it, you're an indie game developer. And what are you talking about? You can't find work as an artist. This is everywhere. There's opportunities everywhere. It's so many jobs, so much work to do. Another example would be to go onto DeviantArt and offer to do commissions for people. If you start making a few dollars just doing some artwork for people, then you're getting work experience doing artwork for money. And that's a big thing. I also recommend checking out my video on YouTube about how to get paid to draw. There are a ton of different ideas in there for ways that you can get experience and you can get paid to do artwork for a living and utilize that 1 hour a day that you have to turn it into something that is more than just a little hobby, but it's something that becomes kind of a job for you. It's something that can be closer, one step closer to your big picture career. I've done everything from design t-shirts to bootleg ties, to comic books, to fashion design, to logos. I've done a lot of different things, and all of it compounds and brings me closer to what I want to be doing. And there's no doubt in my mind that I'm an artist. There's no doubt in my mind that I can be a writer or an indie game developer if I keep chipping away at it and I keep compounding those gains. And so I would say, as the last thing, to never lose your passion for what it is that you're doing. The time to quit on your dream is when you don't feel the passion anymore. And maybe sometimes it's not even just about quitting. Maybe sometimes it's just about recharging your batteries. I know some of the most brilliant minds in the creative industry that I've ever met who just needed a break now and then. And that's good too, when you need to just take a little break and reassess, what do I love about this? Coming off of Diablo, I was pretty burned out. I didn't even think I ever wanted to make games anymore. But now, there's nothing that could tear me away from it. I absolutely love what I do. Anyway, so that's it for me on this one, dudes. Thank you for the awesome question, eCupcakes. I really hope to hear from you in the future when you do land that awesome job at that indie studio, or if you put out a mod or you put out a skin for Dota or something like that. I would love to see your progress as a game developer, as a concept artist. So please do follow up with me in the future. All right, dudes, that's it for me on this one. I'll catch you on mañana. Ciao.